Welcome back to my channel. I am Jemie. I am happy, excited to be having this conversation with you. And it is my prayer that it is going to help you to build your finances, to build better financial management habits and practices. And I hope a year from now, you can look back at the decision that you made as a result of this video, and you will be so proud of yourself. So we had a previous conversation on income. We talked about saving, we talked about investing, and today's conversation is about expenditure. Usually when we get money, generally speaking, is that we want to spend it. In fact, before we get it, we have expenses that are waiting for us. And again, I'm going to refer you to a video I did earlier about your money not being your money. It's going to give you an idea of, okay, so when I'm spending, actually, it's a whole other conversation. But now I want us to look at how do we manage our expenses? The money has come and we have all these things to pay for. How do we manage the expenses? And maybe sometimes the money gets finished before all the expenses are covered. I want to give you a few tips on how to manage your expenditure. First of all, budget. Plan. Just write down your expenditures. Just write them down. Look at the things you spend on monthly. Look at things you spend on quarterly. Look at things you spend on annually, so that you get an idea of how your money is going. You know, it's very dangerous for you to be spending without knowing the things you spend on. And I want you to also include things that you spend on occasionally. It's not like a daily thing you do. It's not even a monthly. It's even not even quarterly. But once in a while, you spend on this item. Put them together. And when you're looking at your expenses, be as detailed as possible. There are certain things that we don't think are expenses, but they are. One of them is money that we give to other people. You're helping here, you're going for a wedding here, you're supporting, you're going for a friend's birthday, you're supporting, there's a surprise party, you're supporting, there's this cause, you're supporting. All that money that you're spending, you should plan for it. Surprise! That money is not coming from your savings. That means that as you're laying down your expenses, that line is there, that expense line, you know, every month I'm budgeting this amount of money to support any cause, to support people, to support whatever it is. The other things that we spend on that I suspect we don't plan for are expenses that relate to us. Yeah? That evening, the traffic is too much and you decide, okay, let me just park at this restaurant and have a cup of coffee. You are minding your own business. A friend calls you. It's been a long time. Like, let's catch up. I'm at place XYZ. Find me there. And you rush there and then you probably pay the bill. Those things, do we really plan for them? The Friday night hangouts, do you actually budget for them? Or when you have money, as long as the big things have been catered for, the rent is covered, the transport is covered, the school fees is covered, the food is covered, now the remaining money, you will see how it goes. I don't know if that is you, but you have to plan for those expenses. Give them a line. Yes. And I say that because I do that. I want you to know that most of the things that I tell you, I actually do them. And like we said previously, I am not here to motivate you, to make you feel good, to make you excited. No, I am here to teach you, to make you take practical steps with whatever information that I'm sharing with you so that it makes you better. So put those lines there. Once you've done that, look at how much are your expenses. Sometimes you'll find that they are more than the income you have. And when I say income, I am not looking at the entire amount you received. No. First remove savings before you even think of what to spend on. So all those small monies you spend, track them, list them down. Now, the moment you see that it's more than the money you actually have, then it helps you to eliminate. What don't I need now? If we're planning for this month, what don't I need this month? What can I do without? What can I reduce on? It also helps you to realize what you're overspending on. Oh my goodness, my rent is very high, for instance. Or if you have a car, you realize that your fuel consumption is very high. And it's time for you to look at those things and see, do I relocate? Maybe if you're spending so much on the car, you start to see, how do I manage this cost? If it's on the food, you start to see, okay, how do I manage these costs? Make sure that you work on those expenses until they fit in your income. It's not an easy task. And that's when you're going to have those conversations with whichever person you have to have them with, and see how do we manage our expenditure. And again, when you're planning your expenses, when it comes to costs you incur annually, quarterly, more than just a month, it would be great if you actually save that money in that month. If, for instance, you pay school fees every 3 months, you don't have to get money in 1 month to pay for fees. You can save it every month. When kids are in school, those 3 months, save the money monthly so that when they get holidays, you're not struggling to pay fees for the next term. Like, those are some of the things that you can do to manage your expenses. There's so much that you can do, honestly. This is a conversation we can have for such a long time, and see how best you can manage your money so that you're not stressed. You're earning this much, but you don't see where it goes. And hey, by the way, before I forget, as you spend, track it. You have this much budget for food, but when it comes to buying food, in reality, how much are you spending? If you said you would spend 100,000, eventually what have you spent? That also could be the reason why you realize you have no money, because you're either under budgeting, you're budgeting this amount, but in reality you're spending more and you don't get to see, where that money goes. Or you're probably over budgeting. You think this is how much you spend on this item, and yet you're actually spending less. So that gives you extra money to play around with in other things. I hope this adds value to you. I hope this helps you improve in the way you're managing your finances. And I hope we can have more conversations and we see how best to grow in this area. All of you that give me feedback, I appreciate it. And I hope that we'll keep getting better as we go along, as we journey through this life. Well, until next time, bye.